Television news, Governor Obiano calls for investigation of Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu's mother in Johannesburg. Basic Education Commissioner Omenoga urges students to imbibe effective learning culture. Anambra lawmaker Emenaka asks youth to channel energy to productive matters. Good evening and thanks for joining us on ABS Television News. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Details of the news. Governor Willie Obiano has asked the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, to use his good office to prevail on the South African police authorities to take serious steps to unravel the murder of a Nigerian corporate executive, Mrs. Elizabeth Ndubisi Chukwu, in Johannesburg last month. We have details.
Made available to the ABS by the State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. C. Don Adinoba, Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu, Deputy Director General of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, was found dead in her room at Emperor Palace Hotel on Thursday, June 13, while attending a meeting of the African Insurance Organization in the South African commercial capital. The statement explained that it had become necessary to request the SGFN to personally wade into the killing because the police in Johannesburg may be capitalizing on the absence of a foreign minister in Nigeria to treat the case with levity. It quoted the governor as saying that reports he has received on the death of the 53-year-old indigene of Anambra State and his analysis of the report suggested that the South African police are treating this murder as just another Nigeria's death in their country, noting that Emperor Palace Hotel has explained at the weekend that it has not released the CCTV footage to the police because they had yet to request for it. The statement said the governor lamented that it is disheartening that over 3 weeks after the dastardly act, the South African police have not deemed it necessary to investigate the heinous crime which with the seriousness it deserved, and pointed out that Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu was not an ordinary person but a top corporate executive who was billed to become early next year the chief executive of the organization and was representing Nigeria at the meeting in Johannesburg where she met her untimely death. It disclosed that the South African Department of Home Affairs had in an autopsy report stated that Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu was strangulated, contradicting some earlier reports suggesting that she might have died in her sleep or committed suicide. The statement said Governor Obiano vowed not to relent in seeking justice for any Anambra indigene whose life is wasted anywhere, whether in Nigeria or abroad, and commended the Nigerian human rights community led by Professor Chidi Odinkalo, the past chairman of the Nigerian Human Rights Commission, for fighting to ensure that justice is done to the memory of Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu, a mother of 2 boys.
A 2-day Anambra State Spelling Bee Championship organized by Integral Development Consult in conjunction with the Ministry of Basic Education has commenced in Awka. The competition is for private and public schools across the state. Education correspondent Theophilus Ukoha reports.
Professor Kate Omenowa said it is important to the state government as it will essentially contribute to the development of students' self-esteem in the academic achievement. Professor Omenua charged the participants drawn from private and public schools in the state to utilize the opportunity in building a solid foundation for their future learning abilities.
It is very possible for you to get to the very top, but you must know that you need to work hard for it.
In a welcome address, the facilitator of the competition, Mrs. Chinweweke, said the goal is to provide a conducive environment for healthy competition that will encourage young people to expand their vocabulary, communication skills, and self-confidence. She, however, said participants who are classified into 3 categories according to their age will, at the end of the competition, receive prizes and awards.
The establishment of IT Care Learning Center Spelling Bee is born in response to a need within the state for a creative and stimulating educational program outside the regular school curriculum which focuses specifically on English language basis.
Later, while rolling out the rules and regulations guarding the competition, the moderator, Ms. Chima Ude, charged the participants to adhere strictly to the laid-down rules. The opening ceremony was attended by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic Education, Mr. Nwabeze Nwankwo, a representative of Chairman Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, Mrs. Nkiruka Nkechukwu, Mrs. Antonia Nwanere, representative of Chairman Post-Primary Service Commission, teachers of the participating schools, among others. Theophilos Okoha reporting for ABS News.
The National Union of Anambra State Students, NOAS, has inaugurated her third national legislative arm during the inaugural event, which took place at Professor Stella Okonna Legacy Building, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. Mr. Josephat Okafor emerged the national president. Others installed into the third national legislative arm were Foster Anebune, Deputy President, Basil Akajiofo, the clerk, Ikwameze Odera, the chief whip. Others were Jacinta Enibe, Deputy Clerk, and Mbamalo Francis, Deputy Chief Whip. Education correspondent Theophilos Ukoha once again reports.
In his speech during the inaugural ceremony, Mr. Tony Ezenwaka, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, Culture and Tourism, Anambra State, charged the newly installed national executives to live with the fear of God and be accountable to their members. The Permanent Secretary also advised them to shine the light of which the Anambra are known for. The outgoing President, Mr. Obumneme Umasiebu, who enumerated the achievements of the Second Assembly, pledged unalloyed support to the incoming Third Legislative Assembly. In his inaugural lecture, the Executive Director of a non-governmental organization in Enugu, Mr. Daniel Ugu, who dwelt on the topic, Respect the Dignity of Humanity, respects the dignity of humanity, said, no leader will have a positive legacy unless he respects the dignity of others, as quality leadership brings sustainability. In his acceptance speech on behalf of the newly installed national executives, the new president, Mr. Josephat Okafor, pledged to initiate a framework that will instigate students for a new world that demands creativity and critical thinking. The inaugural ceremony featured official handover of a symbol of authority and cutting of inaugural cake.
Anambra State Physical Planning Board has commenced the demolition of illegal structures that obstruct free flow of floodwater across the state. The exercise started with the removal of obstruction at the access road to Rockland Estate and other adjoining estates where a perimeter fence constructed by a private developer blocked a flood channel. Correspondent Ejike Abana reports.
However, it was observed that staff of the State Physical Planning Board were on the site with a caterpillar pulling down the concrete wall. The flood channel originally passed through a compound which informed the private developer's decision and action. It was also observed that the entire road has been submerged by water which devastated some parts of the road, making it impossible for motorists to ply. Speaking to the ABS, a resident of Light of the Nation Estate in the area, Mr. Nnamdi Onyekwelo, explained that the obstruction blocked the major road, which forced residents to use an alternative road that is gradually failing due to heavy traffic, and applauded the government's decision to respond to their plight.
It makes our car difficult to ply this road. It spoils the underneath and the suspension. It's because of a blockade of the drainage. One of the residents here has been causing the hardship here. I'm happy that the state government have come to our aid because we've written several petitions to all the different agencies to come to our assistance. I'm finally happy that they have listened.
The executive chairman of Anambra State Physical Planning Board, Mr. Chike Maduekwe, in his remarks stressed that the move has become imperative in keeping with Governor Willie Obiano's directive during the last Executive Council meeting at the Government House, Awka, where the exercise was unanimously approved.
Government should not be seen as a weak government because they want to carry everybody along. These people that are doing these buildings that have no structural integrity, and then later on you have building collapse and the innocent people are killed, it won't happen again. We will not tolerate it at all.
In Awka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
You are watching ABS Television News. The news returns in a moment. Do stay with us.
The entire family of late ICK Anade of Umudike village, Oreri, in Agwata local government area of Anambra State, regrets to announce the painful death of their son, brother, husband and father, Professor Alison Remigius Kenenna Anade, who died in USA on Sunday, June 1, 2019, after a brief illness. Left to mourn him are his wife, children, brother, sisters, nephews and niece. Burial arrangement: Thursday, 11th July 2019, Vigil Holy Mass and Wake Keep at ICK Anade's family's compound at 6 p.m. Friday, 12th July 2019, Funeral Mass at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Oreri at 10 a.m. Interment follows immediately after Mass. Saturday, 13th July 2019, Funeral ceremony continues. Sunday, 14th July 2019, Thanksgiving service at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Oreri at 8:30 a.m. Signed, Dr. Sunday Anade for the family.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Police have arrested suspected house burglar and recovered some stolen property in Oka. We have details.
A statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officers, SP Haruna Mohammed, explained that while on stop and search operation along Ifite Road, Oka, police patrol team attached to B Division accosted one Elendu Wisdom, aged 26 years, and upon a search of his person, house and shop breaking implements such as hammer, knives, and a sewing device were found concealed underneath his wares, and the suspect was immediately searched and some exhibits were recovered from him, including assorted sachets of hot drinks, Shamdo bottle wine, foodstuffs, cigarettes, among others, which the statement said he confessed upon interrogation to have stolen from a shop at First Market, Ifitoka. It explained that the scene was visited by police detectives and incidents confirmed by the shop owner, one Chinwe Madukebu, who put the value of the stolen items at 75,000 naira. The statement further disclosed that the suspect, a plaster of Paris POP work designer who hails from Asa in Okwa West local government area of Abia State, but resides at Okuzo in Oyi local government area, was recently released from the prison over a similar case. The statement added that police patrol team attached to Awada Division arrested one Chika Udeze, aged 26 years, of no fixed address, who allegedly broke into the residence of one Ifa Nyigwe of number 22B Isunjaba Street, Awada, and stolen various items of clothing apparels. It stated that he has confessed to the crime and other cases of house breaking, burglary, and stealing within the area, while all items stolen by the suspect from the residence of his victim have been recovered.
Youths have been charged to channel their energy to positive venture like engaging in routine exercise. The member representing Anambra East in the State Assembly, pharmacist Obinna Emenaka, gave the charge at Abatan Nsugbe during the maiden edition of Nsugbe Run and Walk for Life, organized for all age mates in the community. Ngozi Obileri and Amaka Chibuzokoye filed the report.
The Run and Walk for Life exercise took off from Ilabiton Nsugbe and terminated at First Gate, Nwafori's College of Education Nsugbe. Addressing participants shortly after the exercise, the member representing Anambra East in the State House of Assembly, pharmacist Obinna Emenaka, said engaging in sporting activities will help the youth build intellectual, economic and physical capability and would expose them to a lot of opportunities. He commended the initiator and organizers of the event and said he will replicate same in his community and other communities in his constituency. He said that there is need to promote healthy living through exercise so that people of his constituency can enjoy all the programs and initiatives of Governor Willie Obiano for the good of Anambra.
You have done a great job for yourselves today. We are human beings and we may not know the health challenges we are having, the emotional challenges you are having. And I can tell you authoritatively that today, having been part of this exercise, all your problems have been solved. Yes, sir.
On his part, a one-time senator for Anambra North Senatorial District, Senator Alphonsus Ibweke, commended Ndi Nsugbe for the large turnout of people at the event and encouraged all to always contribute their quota to the growth of the town. He commended the initiator of the program, which he said will help to promote peace and harmony in the community, calling for its sustenance.
2 good heads cannot be better than 1. So together, we learn from each other.
In their separate speeches, the secretary creates job development initiative, and a one-time youth leader in the state, Comrade Chinedu Mmaduka, and the chairman Nsugbe Development Union Home Branch, Mr. Ifediora Mabia, said that the event is apt, considering the place of exercise in human existence, and promised that 150 youths from the community will be trained by his agency in a one-week seminar coming up soon. Also speaking, the initiator and organizer of the program, Comrade Tabo Obiazebazo, said that he was spurred to encourage communal living and peaceful coexistence in a healthy environment, adding that the event will be a monthly program.
Giving back to the society, service to humanity.
The event was attended by youths of the community, as well as pupils and students from various schools in the town. From Nsugbe, in Anambra East Council area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
That report concludes our news bulletin for tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And to end the news, another look at the top stories. Governor Obiano has called for investigation of Mrs. Ndubisi Chukwu's mother in Johannesburg. Basic Education Commissioner Omenua has urged students to imbibe effective learning culture. Anambra lawmaker Emenaka has asked youth to channel energy to productive ventures. And that's the news. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Thanks for watching. Do have a pleasant night rest.